After watching this week's lecture and interview from Scott, Girish, and Cal, and Missy, they have all approached starting and growing business the same, but in very different ways. One key comparison that was mentioned through all the interviews was being able to build good relationships because they can help you more than you may think. First, Scott was a developer for business products and eventually was recruited by State Farm. He took a risk and ventured into this job opportunity because he had a lot of previous experience in working in an entrepreneurship managing. Scott was making very good money beforehand and started over at zero. Because why? Well, because it was something he really wanted to do. He says he loves that he has now brought knowledge from the world into a local level, creating more personal relationships as a State Farm manager. Scott is the brand, and he pushes for it by creating these relationships and taking these risks. Without any of this experience, he would not have been able to grow his business and move from a one-state agency into now a three-state agency for State Farm. For Girish and Cal, they have implemented trust into a huge part of running their business. For Girish, started his diamond business by presenting a business model, and a guy from India, as I know, was going to supply him diamonds. To do this, you have to have a lot of trust in someone to mail them diamonds, but Girish was probably the best guy to come in contact with. Girish would call companies early on the payphone and try to brand his diamonds. Cal eventually came into contact with Girish, and Cal said that he was so inspiring and made him want to work harder, and his trust glued their relationship just even more. They only supplied strictly diamonds to other jewelry companies, and they figured, why not us? Why can't we make jewelry? So they grew their business out of New York City and went to Texas for a business trip to promote and use guerrilla marketing skills to boost their brand. They were very personal with their sales and were very keen on presenting their character rather than just the product. This step helped them build great relationships with everyone they encountered, and it is a huge reason their business has continued to grow and prove why you should build trust. And finally, Missy started when COVID offered her a great opportunity in the market for her daycare system. Missy had already had great knowledge on how to run a daycare from previous times where she had all the ideas and finding the right target market. She started in an outrun church from COVID. Landlords were looking for people to get at least something because COVID affected the market tremendously. And Missy took this risk and was benefited for it. She mentioned that she should have believed in herself even earlier, but she would push away from asking for help. She finally broke that shell and created a great relationships, and these boosted her daycare from what it is now. And now she's even hosting private pre-K and kindergartens in her third building. In these ways, you can see how taking risks, building relationships, and trust has grown Scott, Girish, and Cal, and Missy into great entrepreneurs within their businesses.